Check it. Testing 1, 2. I am Nick Danger, and you are now tuned into the Art of MV. Thanks for watching my video, and do me a favor, check out the comment section where I placed a couple of links to my vlog, The Art of MV, and a video, The Art of MV, How to Modernize Your MV8000. And we're going to talk some MV stuff today, y'all. So anyway, I was looking at a live stream, and one of the guys I follow, the Daydream Sample guy, and anyway, one of the guys in the chat mentioned using his MV8800 with just simply FL Studio and some contact plugins and whatnot, and it reminded me of how I started out my MV. And I just wondered I always wondered, did anybody else use their MV in a hybrid kind of way? Man, in the comment section, let me know. How do you use your MV? Do you use your MV in a hybrid way, or is it just you use it as just a sampler or just a sound module? It seems to me else in the MV, it's all about signal flow, and the MV, sorry to say, I tell you guys, the MV is designed to control your signal flow and capture your signal flow. Let me explain. So I'm going to give you a brief overview of my personal studio, which is very simple. I don't have a lot of money, and I'm very picky about gear. So I basically run two sound sources, no, actually three sound sources come into the MV other than live instruments. I do also record live instruments directly into the MV. But coming into the inputs of the MV is the Integra 7 with everything that comes with that. If you're familiar with the Integra 7, you know that's a lot of sound and a lot of power, right? So the Integra 7, I'm using it in that manner because it also has two sets of quarter-inch inputs, which allows me to hook my SP555 in the front set of the inputs, giving me access to an extra sampler and some effects and chopping capabilities outside the MV. And in the back side of the Integra 7, I have my beloved, legendary Phantom X, which is a very capable sampler and synthesizer. And I say those two because it's really just known as a workstation with a bunch of sounds, but the synthesizer and the sampler go way overlooked, and I use those a lot, and we'll get into that later. Now, as you can see physically, the MV1 is the front and center of my console, right? As I'm using the MV1, I'm actually already inside my DAW. So I got it set up where the right hand is right here with the optical mouse to control the inside of the MV with all editing functions and whatnot. And it's also sitting here near my trackpad where I can control anything inside my DAW that I need to control from here. Now, sonically, all I really use my DAW for is to basically be a huge tape recorder and console. So the way I control that console is through Console 1, which is a soft tube creation, which is a software company that creates these console emulations, much like Universal Audio or Waves, Brainworks, Softtube, right? The cool thing about Softtube is that they issued their hardware to control their software very accurately, which means I just kind of stay in the Softtube ecosystem because I get my shapers, I get my dynamics, my EQs, my console emulations, and my compressors where they can be controlled right from there with the knobs, and it's pretty cool. So I'm controlling the software and hardware all at the console and all within reaching distance right here in front of me. Now that includes this little guy to my right, the MV1 Verse Lab that comes into the interface on tracks 3 and 4. So this is how you hybridize your MV, mindful of the signal flow, audio signal flow. So this represents my Integra. 16 tracks of Integra, a stereo channel for the input, which is where the sounds from the Phantom or anything from the SP is going to reside here. And then I have the mixing console right here where I can control the EQ, the levels, and whatnot. And master volume, and once again, down here, there's the slider for the external gear, the Phantom. So that is what I'd like to show you for as far as signal flow. Now, I didn't talk much about MIDI signal flow, but that's the other signal flow you have to understand. And once again, I use my MV to control things. So the only time I actually I don't even use the MIDI from my the MIDI out from my interface. Everything MIDI wise is still going through the MV. And the MV is designed to do so. Even if the MIDI is inside of your computer, if I have a soft synth I'd like to control, I control it and then I bring the audio through the MV and then back into the interface via the MV protocol that I mentioned before. So this is how you can hybridize, excuse me, this is how you hybridize your MV and kind of just make it control your studio.